I completely cut my mom and my family out of my life. You know, I was just kind of against all religion, just didn't want to be a part of it. He talked about forgiveness as well, and that's what kind of made the shift for me. So I originally came from Texas, and it wasn't the best. I will be completely honest with you. My mom had me when she was a senior in college, and so my biological dad was in the picture for a little bit, but then kind of ended up stepping back, and when I was about 6 years old, he just wasn't in my life. I did have my stepfather, Jeff, but he was not the nicest person in the world. He was incredibly abusive towards me and my mom, and it got worse when my little brother was born. So not the best home life. And I dealt with that pretty much all the way through high school, and it got progressively worse throughout high school. Sadly, religion was actually one of the tools that was used. My stepfamily specifically was actually used as a tool of abuse towards me. You know, I was just kind of against all religion, just didn't want to be a part of it at all. Actually, about 6 months ago, I completely cut my mom and my family out of my life. Moving to college kind of helped, just kind of getting out away from my family a little bit. And it was actually meeting Dakota. It'll be 3 years. We'll be dating 3 years in January, this coming January. And it was meeting him and talking to him. He was like, yes, I'm a Christian. You know, I do go to church and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I'm not. But Dakota expressed the desire to start going back to church because he had kind of fallen off of a little bit. And he's like, you know what? No, I really want to go back. You know, I know this great church. It's TC. You'll love it. And I was like, all right, I love you, so I'll give it a try. There was a huge struggle, and there was just a wall and a block between me and God. And sometimes it just felt so hopeless. Like, you know what? Like, maybe I should just give up and I will never be good enough to be with him or be a part of anything. And I actually remember the exact service. It was Pastor Dan who was preaching. He talked about forgiveness. I literally, after watching that service, I went and I wrote a letter to my family and everybody, and I was like, I forgive you for everything that you have done because I need to let it go. But over time, like, that wall slowly started to get chipped away. Pastor Brad does it after every service. You know, he does you want to be saved or you want to invite God into your life, pray this prayer with me. And I prayed it out loud. And it was like a really big moment for me. I was like, whoa, I just did that. I was like, I'm a little scared. I don't know what comes next, but I feel really good. It was actually my idea to get baptized because he was leaving for New York, and it was like May. And I said, you know what? We're going to go to Next Steps. We're going to get into this church because it's time. We've been going here long enough. And I was like, I also want to get baptized. And he was like, are you serious? And I was like, yes. And he was like, I was thinking the same thing. And I was like, great, we're gonna do it together. The baptism itself, though, that was amazing. Pastor Brad dunked me in the water, like pulled me back up. And that was the biggest moment for me because one of the things that I dealt with is I never felt like I belonged anywhere. And that just felt like God was opening up his arms and saying, welcome home.